And welcome back, folks. We have Lopsticles on attack here, going more of a dive, as blue team is brawling it out here. Sombra is caught in the back line. Big oof for Sombra, as that's going to be a big momentum for yellow to push through. Winston does take up on that initiative and dives straight in as Diva follows, pushing that DPS down. DPS go down for blue as they try to push off on those tanks next. Tracer with Matt continues to pepper their backlines as Tropic is trying to push that Zarya, unfortunately getting out of mech. Matt does kill that Zarya as she gets low, as Sue continues to push on that Reinhardt. Blue does seem like they're going down one by one, but they are desperately trying to burn down time, killing Sue in the mix, as Lucio does get a kill on Steve Rogers going back to neighborhood. Reaper does fade away, attempting to keep alive, and does continue to keep alive as Tropic does attempt to get back in mech. She does get that point as blue is pushed back to reset. Unfortunately not. Zarya does try to push on. Tanks, the support try to push on, trying to burn down that time for yellow. Doing so in the moment. 2:45 is on the clock for yellow as they continue to brawl on a point. Shatter is pushed on. And it does look like yellow will finally clean this fight up.
Ooh, wow. That was a little bit of a drawn-out fight, but very much in favor of the yellow team pretty consistently, in my opinion. That pick onto the DPS, both of them going down early. Ooh, no one left to shoot bullets at that. And on top of that, Matt was completely uncontested the whole time.
Definitely. And it does look like this is going to be a pretty good momentum going in for yellow, as Steve Rogers continues to try to push on this momentum, but unfortunately does get swatted out by Reinhardt. Diva decides to retreat, as that will be a full reset now, officially.
Finally, I think this is our first of full reset spawn, everyone grouping up together. We got EMP and Coalescence coming online for the blue team. There's the Coalescence already.
RB Pop Nano Primal is coming into play here, as he is getting boops. No boops right now, but he is antagonizing that backline, as Steve Rogers does get those click off both yellows and both of blue's DPS here. Grab is pushed out by Alpha Prime, and he does get two, as blue finally gets that reset on yellow, as Mr. Astra gets a 3K, taking advantage of that grab.
Absolutely, I agree on that front. You know, Steve Rogers being a real hero, living up to his namesake, getting those 2 kills, but wasn't quite enough. With the grab coming out from the blue team, yellow was caught right in the middle and had nowhere to run. Definitely. You know, it'll be really interesting to see what they go moving forward. Blue team has EMP online again, so still looking nice.
Definitely, and it does look like Steve Rogers has a blade here, so we will see how he utilizes that in his next fight. Sleep for Ryan comes into play as tanks begin to roll on a point. Charge is pushed out by Sue, with bomb coming out, but unfortunately does not get anybody, only utilizing space here. Teams are beginning to brawl out on this corner, as Sue is pushed down by the Reaper on the line. There's just so many things going on right now, Sid. Cole is being pushed out. There is a big ante from Bell on that, ending up cleaning up that blue side. They are trying to get that, and a big boot from PXM from that Reaper. This does look like it will be a cleanup, as Sombra does try desperately to stay alive, but yellow is pushing this ultimate point with 2 minutes and 30 seconds online.
Yeah, and you know, yellow is setting a really quick pace here. Big Shatter comes out.
Hey! With the pulse bomb to follow. Yellow is just relentless right now, keeping up with that momentum as Diva spams her voice line. It is Happy Halloween.
And you know, Matt Thriller, he has taken us on a thriller of a ride, getting kills left and right.
Definitely.
Completely uncontested by the blue team.
He is just being a proper mosquito in the backline. Unfortunate. Nanoblade coming up here with a anti to follow up. EMP does come up. 4K on the line as Mendel tries to go and take advantage of that, but Demon does DM that. Charging in with Sue coming into play as both Ryans are rolling on the point. Sue is taken down by blue side Ryan as... Whoa! side. Moira is trying to keep her Rhine up on point. Colt is pushed out, but it does look like both teams are stalling it out right now, as Yellow is forced to reset.
Wow, that was another phenomenal coalescence fight. Cool, still fighting.
Still fighting. Oh, Shatter, grab, Q's are being pressed. And Steve Rogers is trying to make what's best of the situation right now, trying to get a little bit of picks off. Maybe just trying to build a little bit of ult here, save for Matt Thriller. And unfortunately is brought down. That will be a stagger for the Yellow side. Pretty unfortunate.
Yeah, it'll take a minute for Genji to walk back, but thankfully his dash is quicker. Well, I was gonna say, Burnout's coalescences have been on point keeping his Reinhardt alive, and have been key in flipping it.
And that Shatter will not get anybody as the teams are beating the brawl out of point. Again, Burnout does come into play as Nanoblade is pushed out. Both support ults are pushed on the blue side as Genji does push that blade onto...
Wow, and that's looking like some nice cleanup by Lopsticles so far. We still have a little bit of time left and a little bit of distance on the point, though. We're not anywhere near last fight yet.
Definitely minute 30 on the clock as Yellow tries desperately to get that payload meters away. Blue is trying to burn down ults. As Bob, it does come into play, and Sombra is pushed to sleep. Looks like she was trying to build up burn up EMP, but it is denied by Vel. B is pushed out. Potentially, they thought EMP was coming out, but unfortunately it does not. 3K on the Shatter, as the team is going to be trying to clean up this fight right here. We are into the last fights right now, as EMP is finally pushed out.
5-man.
Just trying to burn down time, but unfortunately Yellow will push this point to 3 with 59 seconds on the clock.
Wow, you know, I think Yellow would have capped it even faster if it hadn't been for Mr. Asterisk's bubble onto Rhine when he got stuck with the pulse.
Definitely.
Keeping him alive and taking 0 damage from the pulse on top of that. Huge time saver there for the blue team.
I definitely agree with that. Actually, Burnout was pretty key in keeping his Rhine up. Just trying to burn down as much time. Coalescence is such a easy ult to continue to build, and so he was using it pretty liberally, but also in really good key times to keep the time in Blue's favor.
Totally. Well, he was building it so fast. I think that he knows he can just use it a little bit more freely than most people as well. And he was putting a lot of pressure onto Steve Rogers. I think he was putting the most pressure onto Steve Rogers, more than his other DPS players.
I would agree with that.
So, yeah, you gotta protect yourself sometimes as the healer.
Definitely.
No
Sometimes
one's
you
there
just
for
gotta
you.
let that DPS Moira come to play and show your dominance over Mr. Rogers.
I mean, sometimes you're your own hero. And then you coalescence and you're everyone's hero. Yay!
Yeah, it's a, 2 for 1.
Oh. All right, well, we got Steve Rogers on the Torb now, so maybe not quite as much of a one-man carry potential as Genji, so not
Maybe
going
we'll,
full hero mode.
Get some hammer kills, potentially.
Right, that'd be great. I mean, Vel's sleeps have been nasty. Vel slept that Sombra on the opening.
Definitely.
So, and that's what they got, how they got the kill. Not ready at all for that to be the case for...
Blue Lost in Action was in a perfect setup. 90% almost getting that EMP, which would have been pretty big for their team to try to burn that time. But that sleep was pretty detrimental for...
Yeah. I mean, and Vel's gotta feel good about that game. He had a lot of sleeps onto, well, Sombra twice is nothing to be... That's not too shabby, man.
This kid is definitely up and coming. I'm excited to see some more plays by Vel on this second point.
Right, that'll be good. Oh, we've got balls, so hopefully some good displacement coming through as well. Oh!
Juking us up as we
And we're brawling!
Yes. It looks like Blue is going to be pushing that Ashe away as they continue their momentum onto Rhine. Globals are being pushed by Tropic as they continue brawling under point here. So far it's a sail fight, but Sue is pushed down as Blue continues their momentum here, trying to pick off that Torb, which they end up doing. Reaper is just
Wow. I mean, you know, Yellow pushed it pretty fast himself. It's no 5-minute time bank, obviously. And still a little bit of trickling coming through as well. But in my opinion, oh, there it is. Yeah, with the extra time added. I think blue team was breaking Sue's shield much faster than Lopsticles was, you know, shield breaking.
I think that Reaper had a lot to do with that play right there.
Yeah, well, he was not afraid to be front-lining and aggressive. That's where he's supposed to be. Yeah, and I don't think the turret was putting in enough damage in comparison.
Bob does come into play with the immediate hack on the point as blue begins to pull them off. Sue does charge in the point as Brines are trying to brawl it out, but unfortunately, Sue is outpowered with the Cole and Lucio boost, and their EMP is pushed out with a 4K there as blue again utilizes his momentum, just pushing onto point as Val says, "I'm out of here," and pieces out.
I mean, sometimes you gotta just group up with your friends, and that's the fastest way is off the edge. Another EMP used, really great use of ult economy there, and Burnout used the Coalescence earlier last part, but still charging fast. I expect to see one soon. We are gonna see a lot of Qs this fight. Sue may be coming around the back.
Sneaky Shatter with a 3K on the fight. He charges in again as speed is pushed and Qs are just being pushed left and right. Taurus Multicore is pushed on the point as Yellow does take this fight back, stalling the momentum of blue and killing off Zarya in the end here.
Wow, that is a great spot to be holding here on Eichnwalde as well. You know, lots of open area that the attackers have to push up towards. Plenty of time for you to get that chip damage in and force out the ability usage from the other team as well. Their abilities on cooldown create a big advantage. Wow! Thriller taking it into his own hands. That's going to be another long stall for the blue team.
Definitely.
But
Yellow is just like burning down that momentum that blue had initially.
Absolutely. I mean, but blue team has a lot of ultimates coming online as well.
They do have a free grab too. No defense blow for the yellow team, so we will see if that's going to be enough to just continue that momentum.
Bob, do something!
Bob in a small corridor just breaking down that Ryan shield as Mr. Asterisk just continues to try to defend his team. Nanotorp coming into play, trying to get those hammer kills, pushing out, and he unfortunately does not get any hammer kills as hard as he tried. Mr. Rogers, not Steve Rogers, I would say.
Absolutely. I mean, if you're trying to bring out the hammer, are you building up the neighborhood on some, you know, friendly repairs?
It does seem like that, as Morridge just shot him down. Big unfortunate there. Matt is here trying to get some pokes off on their supports again, as Blue does continue to push in through this castle here. Burns are coming out, as Bob, a second Bob on this initiation. Shatter does come to play with Mr. Asterisk as he does take down Sue in this point, and Burnout with the cold trying to keep his bride alive. Blue does push on this high ground as Yellow and Blue continue to brawl, pushing Matt off the high ground and ending up winning this high ground, pushing Yellow off on the point.
Yeah, it looks like Yellow here only has a few players left to defend or hold the front line at all, and Valk has just ended as well, so they're going to be a little bit... Oh!
Sneaky Shatter again? Try to. It looks like there will be... Ooh, big unfortunate boop right there from the Rhine. As
that's going to be
EMP
tough.
is popped, trying to push this payload here with blue side. They do get a pick on, and they are just continuing with this momentum as they're about to gap 2. Tropic is trying. Tropic does attempt that 4K grab, but unfortunately there's no follow-up there in time, as it does look like Blue will clean up this fight here.
Yeah, you know, Sue had the right idea, maybe, trying to go around again. I'm not sure second time's the charm. But, you know, right, well, not quite as sneaky.
Yeah,
but all in all, a good effort is the best they could do for that push.
There is quite a few ults on Blue's side right there, so I'm hoping to see a good grab here from Mr. Alpha Prime.
I totally agree, and you know, it'd be nice to see a Blossom combo with that grab, really see the damage and kills come through on the feed.
And grab does come into play Thor is being utilized as an defensive ult, saving the team, as well as Bob, just trying to eliminate that push. Mr. Asterisk is down as Sue again charges him off the point, and this will be a cleanup for Yellow as the rest of the team pushes back, waiting for their team.
2 minutes left on the clock here at Eichnwalde, and just a little bit farther to push to the third point for blue team. This is the most difficult part of the map to push. Burnout has once again another coalescence online. I'm sure he'll use that to keep his Rhine up again, but I would still love to see this Death Blossom used. Didn't get used up last fight, so we'll have to see where it goes.
Blue is starting to initiate here as both teams are brawling at the point. Paul is pushed with nobody getting caught in that Ryan shatter. Blue continues its momentum, pushing onto Yellow with the second quarter. Minute does have that Blossom killing Mad, but unfortunately it does not kill everybody on the point. Blue is trying to keep a hold of that point, but unfortunately Ryan does come down as Yellow does clean up the rest of the players on the point.
Yeah, Blue's having a serious problem with Bell just sitting at the high ground, throwing antis onto them left and right, getting sleeps uncontested.
Definitely.
You gotta pressure that Anna. She was too good.
Yeah, I would think that Lost in Action should be just making Bell's life a living hell as Sombra.
Not seeing the pressure, man.
Bob is pushed again by Matt. As Hughes are being pushed, it looks like both Grab and Shatter come into play as Yellow again pushes Blue back, making them reset for another time.
All right, and Bob putting in a bit of work himself. Don't see a lot of Bob kills all the time.
Definitely.
All right, we're getting into the last fight territory, absolutely, with some 3-4 ultimates for the blue team. It could be a chance for them to have a nice hold and recontest here at the end.
What really needs to
EMP
happen,
is huge.
yes, EMP and Shatter, those need to be big, at least 3K at most. Oh, a charge comes to play with Sue as he eliminates that potential for a Shatter by Mr. Asterisk. Cole does come into play as we approach overtime. Nano Zarya is on the Yellow, as we will never know what happens because replays for Overwatch cut off that last few seconds. Unfortunate.
But I have to say, that last minute charge by Reinhardt was incredible for Lopsticles' team. I mean, taking out both the Rhine, booping the opposing Rhine off the map and pinning the Zarya. Burnt was using his coalescence to keep his Reinhardt every time, and without that, he used it purely offensively after the EMP. And you're missing 2 tanks. It's hard to push without your tanks, man.
We've all had those games where Ryan charges and healers are just like, "Where are you going, Ryan?" And then Ryan ends up dying. But I gotta say that this was one charge where it was a little questionable, but ended up being huge for Yellow. Just really disabling that blue team in the end. That was a key win condition for the blue. That Shatter
Totally.
was just taken off the board.
I mean, I try to do stuff like that sometimes. Usually I end up just skating off the map with nobody in my pin. But, I'm glad to see it works out sometimes. Well, of course, these guys can pull it off way better. But all around, really nice work from Lopsticles' team. I think Vel was just on fire with the heals, the antis, the sleeps were there. He canceled Reaper out of his Death Blossom partway and Sombra out of an EMP. Like, I don't know how much more you can ask from an Ana than that.
He was just uncontested the whole time. Just shooting, doing his thing as grandma for the team and just, being what you want in a support.
Yeah, making sure everyone's cozy, healed up, and, feeling spry. Well, folks,
again,
that was an excellent game, and we hope to see you all at our next Overwatch tournament.
Bye-bye.
Bye.